Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing as Nationalist China, also known as China. And as you can see, in the last episode, we did fight back and destroy the armies of Japan, which were trying to invade us. We've got Shaanxi, Zibai, and Xinjiang as puppets under us at the moment. And we are currently working on a way of attacking Japan. We are rapidly researching better ships, better aircraft. We've started building more aircraft as well. So we're probably going to try and hit them first by air, bomb them into submission just to destroy their industry, although I think it's mostly pretty much done. We have double the industry that they do at this point. And then once we actually have the ships ready to contest the navy, we'll go after that. I do have my tactical bombers trying to bomb them at sea, though I don't know exactly how effective we'll be. Also, we don't have that many tactical bombers yet. That is something that we are going to be working on improving. We do have tier 2 battleships now. We're still working on tier 3s. Once we have the tier 3, I might start building some of them. But here we go. This is like the end of the war for us. Even though in Europe, it's only just begun. So Germany has taken France, they've taken Poland, split it with the USSR, and the Germans and the USSR are now at war, although that's only just really begun. The borders haven't changed much at all. Am I navy invading or paratrooping? Probably... Vebe, are you watching a video? No, this is live. Probably a mixture of both. I really want to see how the new paratrooping mechanics work, particularly the fact that you can fly in supplies. Actually, that's a point. You can fly in supplies now, so I don't actually need to take a port, which means I don't need to fight them at sea. I'm just flying. That's the whole point of the new flying supply thing. So we want to reduce the number of tactical bombers we're building, so I think we're just going to go down to 15 of those in production. And then I want a lot more transports being built. Yeah, that sounds good. We have got synthetic refineries under construction at the moment because we are very low on oil and rubber. Meanwhile, we are also producing... Not scrolling down. Is that the bottom of the... Oh, that's the bottom of the list, that's why. We're also trying to build up our industry, so we're still doing a couple of infrastructures here and there, but otherwise building factories. And in fact, we're building in Shaanxi at the moment because I want to reduce their autonomy to such a level where I can take them. I have been working on the decision tree to integrate these guys, Zibai, and that's going to cost 450 political power to do, which is just a ridiculous amount, and quite honestly just not worth it. Much easier to just to integrate them normally. So yes, the subjugation of the warlords focus is good to get them as puppets initially, and they definitely saved my bacon a few times, but after that, to actually integrate them, do it through the old system. Burma Road, complete. Ah, this is us cozying up to the British because I want to get their fighter abilities. More entrenchment, that doesn't really help me at this point. And then we can get some old fighters, which allow us to get Camco. Then once we have Camco, we can get local fighter production and local bomber production. And at that point, we can get the local bomber production company, and then we can upgrade to the 1940 tactical bombers and heavy fighters and actually get some really, really good aircraft out, thanks to the British designs. Our Air Force needs modern fighters to keep up with foreign threats. Our industry is unable to produce them yet, so we must purchase them abroad. What do I have planned after Japan? I honestly don't know. Like, I don't really want to fight the Soviet Union, because the Soviet Union's kind of been my bro and has had my back throughout this whole thing. They're the only foreign power to have actually sent me weapons and armor and stuff like that. Their volunteers were useful, and their air force basically wiped out the Japanese air force. Like, we had air superiority for much of that war, thanks to the new Soviet, or the new feature, which is you can send air wings as a volunteer, and that's what the Soviets are doing, like, massively. In the meantime, I'm buddying up to the British because I want their planes. The only ones that I don't really have any relations with are France, but they're with the Allies, so going after France would mean then pulling in the British, so I honestly have no idea. Maybe America? Except they'll join the Allies too. Well, we need to take Japan first. Once we've dealt with Japan, then we can decide. Also, we might well get pulled into the Second World War on one side or the other. I don't really know. Like, the Axis are still fighting. Obviously, the big war over here at the moment. And then the Allies. Attack the Axis and send troops through the USSR to help fight Germany. Something like that probably is what's going to happen. Although, and this is just going to complicate it even more. Like, I've been playing every single faction off against each other. I've completed the mission to Germany stuff, so all of my armour is going to be German. All my air forces are going to be British. I haven't done anything with the Navy yet, though we could send a mission to the US to get better naval stuff. And we haven't sent a mission to the Soviet Union, although the Soviets have been really, really important in terms of the volunteers they sent us and stuff. In fact, we could join the joint tank development of the Soviets. I thought that going for Germany would lock them off, but apparently it hasn't. And, like, the Soviets were even sending me troops to fight Communist China, which was hilarious. Gotta go geopolitics and smash your biggest rival, India, except India is British. So, like, many people have played a role. Are we actually going to sink any of their ships? We've destroyed a bunch of their aircraft, which is quite impressive considering I'm attacking them only with tactical bombers. Is this still the same situation where if you're only attacking by air, you never sink anything? Yeah, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Ouchies. Time for tea. Greece has capitulated, so that's the one allied nation still on the continent, now fallen. So Italy just got stronger. Yep. Because Romania and Bulgaria are also in the Axis. Romania having attacked Bulgaria and then flipped fascist, and Bulgaria being a Romanian puppet, I believe. I think that's how it worked. No. This is just Legionary Bulgaria joined them. They are not a puppet. Huh, okay. But the Axis is still pretty strong. Like, they've had Nationalist Spain. Nationalist Spain won the Civil War. Germany, Italy, these guys. I think Hungary is as well. Yes, they're in the Axis. So it is Europe at this stage versus the USSR and the Allies through Britain. France fell, although they have completely destroyed the Axis presence in North Africa. That was actually surprisingly close. Like, Italy managed to push the French back to about here and took the whole of northern Egypt, up to and including Cairo. And then got pushed back again from the French, pushing from the other side. I think they just spread themselves too much. Right, I can get another focus tree. I'll show you the faction map in a minute. Not sure. I mean, I obviously want the aircraft designer, so we don't need to worry about that yet. We could get the Chief of Air Force. Which would be plus 10% air superiority, which is not terrible. Navy. Considering we're still research... Hang on, do these count as companies? No, these just come into effect at any point. 10% more capital ship armor. And screen attack and defense. That's pretty good. Companies are just not as interesting as Kaiserreich. I much prefer it when they've actually got like stats and stuff associated with them, rather than just research bonus. Right, faction mode, let's have a look. That one. So we're currently unaligned. The Allies have the whole of Africa, India, Australia, Indonesia, because the Dutch joined, Canada, and... Oh, of course, Suriname, yeah. Those are colonies. And the Axis control the majority of Europe. Spain is definitely Axis aligned. The Axis invaded, but failed to take Norway. No, they didn't even get the invasion off. I think the Royal Navy actually did a really good job protecting the North Sea here, and I guess the Øresund, to stop the invasion. It just never happened. The Comintern did beat Finland, but apparently Finland just pieced out, I guess, for losing some territory. And then I'm unaligned. I'm probably the most powerful unaligned, no, except for the US. There are two of us who are very powerful unaligned nations. Actually, how many factories does the US have? more than me. Probably about double what I have. Okay. How much does Russia have? Also about double. Germany? More than double. However, my manpower is skyrocketing and still growing. Because I just changed my manpower. Not my law. I got a technology which gives me more. What's the little allied blob in Albania? Probably... oh, it's the remnants of Yugoslavia, which has already fallen. Alright, what the hell do I want for my focus here? I don't need manpower. I don't want to change my trade law. We could get the German tank designer, which gives us the armor and hard attack bonus. Or I could just save the political power for when I get the technology. So we need fighter purchases 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of focuses. I think I'm going to get the... we'll need him eventually. You could go for the cheaper ships, though that seems like a terrible idea. The Dagu shipyard. Capital ships, more visibility. No, less visibility, more speed. Less firepower. Ah, both of these seem terrible. We could get more political power, which would allow me to fill in more of that. Popular figurehead would be the stability, so we'd hit 100 stability. Though I think we can still get more of those. Ah, financial expert. Less consumer goods used. That's not a terrible idea. Or a theorist. We've already got the land doctrine. You know what? Having a air doctrine could be really good. What's the difference between these two? There is none. They even cost the same, so why would you want to get this guy? And the same thing, ground support, air superiority bonus. I mean, are we doing it? No, we're doing air interception. I mean, we probably do need some air superiority. And at the moment, the war is in the skies. So we're going to take you. There we go, decision made. Because I want to beat the Japanese Air Force, so I have complete air superiority. Especially if we're going to be doing the paratrooping thing, actually. So we really are doubling down on the Air Force. I mean, we should be growing it. We have complete control of that area. We're still fighting in the skies over here. I'm mostly trying to shoot down their bombers. I saw this by months. They've lost 88 aircraft, I've lost 26. So we are winning that war. Although they have a lot more planes than we do. They still have 1,700, 1,800. To my 127. Aha, guerrilla warfare. I think that's the end of the land doctrine. It is. We have now completely finished land doctrines. So we could start on naval doctrine, because we're already working on the air. Be fleet and being, which is fine. We could continue to improve these guys. We could actually get paratroopers. And improve the commandos. That's not a terrible idea. Start working on tanks, though no real point in that. It is still 1941. Oh, 41. We haven't even got these yet. In September. Whoops. Got a little bit too carried away building or researching new aircraft. Hey, Dana. Alright. So yeah, we really do need to just be churning out aircraft at this point. We still need more infantry because I'm still trying to get my infantry up to like a full block. Because we've got the combat width reduction, so we may as well. We have the manpower for it. Although, paratrooping those over will be difficult. There is that. Is there anything else that I can reduce in order to get more aircraft going? I don't think so. No, it's basically just a waiting game, because we are now in the process of... Ooh, Japan just declared war on the Allies. France, how many ships have you got? 3. Yeah, it's not really enough. Britain, 140. Germany, 9. Italy, 1. Okay, so the British still have naval superiority. Soviet Union, 55. So if the Royal Navy turned up over here, it's unlikely, but they might, then we might be able to force a blockade of the Japanese. Because the Japanese Navy is still huge. German Reich caves to Hungary. Oh, because the Hungarians wanted Slovakia. Interesting. Now the British are saying non-aggression. They want military access. To go after Japan? Hell yeah. And the British want to invite me to the Allies. You know what? Sure. We've got what we wanted from the Germans. They didn't send me any material or anything. We will lose a general. And also, this means we can actually do something in the war effort. That's the main reason, I'll be honest. Call to arms. I accept. I'm now at war with Italy and Germany. So, Soviet Union. How about, buddy old chap albino thing, we have a non-aggression. And you give me military access. Alright, let's go and grab Camco. And fighter baiting. Now, military access. That's the one. Poor Sino-German relations are deteriorating relationship with Germany has resulted in them recalling all of their military advisors from our country. Chinese officers will finish what they started. That's fine. That was the land doctrine bonus, which I just finished. So, perfect timing, in fact. We are still not sinking any ships. However... Oh, wow, that's a big loss for the British. Alright, we have access through the Soviet Union now. So I'm going to say... Purples I'm going to leave over here to defend. I'm going to give you these chaps to them. And you are going to join Ming. You are going to join him. And we're going to send Bacon Killer, Japs and Oxamis to the Soviet line to go and fight against the Germans. So we're sending you like 50 divisions. While Ming, my garrison, Horn Panda, stay here. Lab Frog. You have an attack of 6 now. That's crazy. We're going to see if we can knock out these guys first, I think. So I'm going to do this from the army group line. We're just going to go like this. And I'm going to say, I want my army groups here. And then can I select you two and go... No, I cannot just assign you to that. I'm going to have to then go... I'm still trying to work out exactly how these systems work. So we can cancel that. Cancel that. 0 divisions will be assigned. That's not what I want. We'll put you like so. We'll have the blues take the other half, and then it will automatically fill in the rest. There we go. Which is a pretty nice system. And we're going to say the blues, your job, yeah, that was the right button, is going to be to take this. And the reds, your job is to take out Romania. Okay. Alright, let's do this. And if you lot aren't taking the trains, then I'll be very, very disappointed in you. Why are we not moving? That's not taking the train, you bumbling buffoons. Oh, here you are. You should be yellow. Right, you're all taking the train. That's fine. Choo-choo! You guys want to join the war? Hell to the yes. And Mongolia wants non-aggression? Yeah, I will accept that. Meanwhile, plans for taking over Japan are still going to continue. Although, we might get some of the Royal Air Force over here. And the French Air Force. Oh no, they're still fighting the German Air Force, never mind. They probably have their hands a little bit full. How many aircraft do you have? 5,000. How many do you have? 6,000. Okay, the Royal Air Force still outnumbers them. The French have 945. Do I outnumber the French? Almost. I'm 200 planes short of the French. I didn't start with an Air Force. I'm also getting a lot of air experience from fighting the Japanese over here. Although we may see some German planes heading over to the Japanese side. Ooh. I just saw what you're doing, you sneaky sneakies. Alliance with Siam. So, we're going to get Horned Panda, and we're going to do something about this. Set up an offensive line to go and deal with Siam before they actually join the war against us. Alright. Chinese troops are almost on the border. Heading very, very quickly over, and then once they arrive, we'll slow things down again. Hello, Soviets. And my minions have quite a few troops now. Not going to use them just yet. They're there for like an emergency. Oh no, Germany's just naval invaded me or something like that. Steel. I need to find a new trade partner because I'm not buying from Germany anymore. Soviets. You would probably be a good one. Aluminium, Soviet Union. I'm going to be buying most of your aluminium. Hope you don't mind. There we are. Problem solved. And we should be mass producing all the things again. And in fact, we have finished most of the development. I think we're going to continue developing up Shaanxi. They should start losing a lot of that autonomy very, very soon. And Wolfman? Not cool. Don't do that. This is still a public chat room. Careful what you say. No, I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm just focusing on other things at the same time. Alright. So the Reds still haven't arrived. They were apparently further away. But the Blues have. The Blues are currently in the process of digging in. That's fine. It actually looks like there's not much fighting going on this border. Oh no, they are attacking. Because I'm really good at defending. So maybe I should be on the German border. You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to... Who's my better defender? Blue. Blue's going to head over to the... You know what? Actually, we're going to say, hey, Field Marshal, send my lines up that way. Reds are going to be responsible for the bottom half. Blues are going to be responsible for the top half. Alright. Decision available. Land appropriation. War propaganda against Soviet Union. Yeah, that's not happening. War bonds. That's a factories for political power, which is terrible rate of return at the moment. I don't want to do any industrial land appropriation, though I may do at some point. I'm still going to remove it. Ah, you know what I should have done when I had 150? Fully integrated to buy San Mar, because that's costing me 0.25 political power. I'm an idiot. Should have done that. That's what I should have done. If I start looking at like which companies and things to get next time, say no. Just say no to me. No way does China rail an army that big across Central Asia in a few weeks. Well, there is the Trans-Siberian Railroad, and I'm fairly sure that the Soviets would go, okay, there are 2 million Chinese troops coming across to help us fight against the Germans. Prioritize them. I love Kaiser. Shame there isn't a better political system. Well, now you have the stability and war support. Like, it's improving. And also, don't forget, I was on, like, maximum speed. That was actually a couple of weeks to get here. It wasn't, like, an hour. Probably, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks. Germans are still pushing up there. So I think it was a pretty good idea that I come in with reinforcements over this side. Are the blues actually in place? No, it's going to take them quite a long time to get into position. Alright, so what I think I might do is I'm going to select all the blues. I'm going to go force march up to there. And then spread out from the center. Now, next question. How's supply over here? It's not actually terrible. Okay, we're good. The other thing I should have been doing, really, while I wasn't at war, was train my troops a bit more. What I can do is add a couple more infantry units. Twice? We'll have a shortage, but we are now up to 32 combat width. A defense of 625. And we just need more factories. Need to make a lot more guns, guys.